There's a huge reason why I've held off from reviewing these brand new TaylorMade P790 irons, and that's because I wanted to give them a proper going over. So I actually took them out to Portugal last week and played 5 rounds of golf with them. Now, I myself am a PGA professional and I quite like the idea of traditional golf clubs. These are far from that, and I have to say, have TaylorMade had a little bit of a boo-boo when it comes to these clubs? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. So these clubs, I'm not going to beat around the bush here, they are very expensive. They're going to cost you nigh on kind of £1,200 4-iron pitching wedge, so they're really going to have to perform, especially in the days of the D2C markets such as Tacoma, Cali, Kirkland and all the rest. I'm not sure I can say Kirkland with a TaylorMade video, can I? Is that bad? Is that naughty? But they're also jam-packed full of technology. So we're going to play some shots today. We're going to test them in the studio as well, see just how they do perform, because amazingly what TaylorMade have done, and I'm going to get the 4-iron out to show you here, because what TaylorMade have done with these clubs since the Gen 1 P790s, which, let's be fair, were absolute total walloping game changers for everybody in the golfing world, I have to take my hat off, because it's just made golf easier for everybody, hasn't it? But if you start to look like down at this, so this is the 4-iron, and we actually played an iron-only challenge with Brett, our kind of mid now to low handicap golfer. Some of the ball flights you can get with these, I'm going to stop talking for a second, I'm going to hit you some, because they look fantastic, and there's a certain bit of technology in here which, let's be honest, Rob's going to tell us here, Bobby even, how good did that sound? The sound absolutely phenomenal. So these clubs do feature an FLTD CG. Do you know what that means?
I don't.
So it's flighted CG, just spelt wrong I think. Oh. But basically it means that the centre of gravity is lower in the long irons and then it progressively gets a little bit higher in the short irons, so it helps you with the kind of trajectories that you want, which is absolute genius, because that 4-iron there was a lovely low penetrating shot. But say if I don't want a low penetrating 4-iron, say if I want to just hit, let's be honest, just a normal 4-iron, because the demographic or the market of golfer for this club isn't necessarily the PGA Pro or the 4 handicap, although stats say that a lot of 4 handicappers do quite like these because they look fantastic, feel good, perform good, and yeah, do everything you want to do. Now, if I want to hit just a nice normal 4-iron here, I don't really have to do much else apart from move that ball position forward, and you can see there, that's probably twice the height. A nice high draw up that left-hand side. So essentially what I think TaylorMade are trying to do with these clubs is just make them that little bit better, that 1, 2, 3% better every time they churn one out without ruining them. Because let's not beat around the bush, let's talk about the elephant in the room. These are probably the sexiest irons you've ever seen. And that's where so many of the other brands probably sought inspiration from the TaylorMade P790s. Think of Cobra with the Forge Tech, think of Ping with the i500, think of Tacoma with the 101 and the 101T. We haven't even spoken about the TaylorMade P770 yet, because the split set is a thing. And I think, yeah, because if you go and get fitted, if you think, all you're going to do is order slightly different clubs, aren't you? So you might have P790 456, P770 789 wedge. Maybe even like a CB wedge if you really wanted to. But I think the big thing that TaylorMade are doing here is providing bag appeal for the kind of mid-handicapper and giving you that feedback and that sound. Because, yeah, Bobby knows. Bobby just said, oh my God, let's talk mid-irons and let's talk more tech and let's clean them, because it's a shame to not have them looking like that. Ah. Okay guys, we're going to kick things off numbers with the 4-iron. You've just seen that outside, and to be honest, very, very impressed with that. Love that feel, love that sound, and I like a lot about it. So what do we get? We've just had a bit of a warm-up actually, and you can see up on screen 210 carry, 224 total, spinning at 3,900. That is absolutely perfect. Bobby, let's focus on these numbers and just see really what this 4-iron has to offer. Because I honestly feel like this could be not only one of the best looking long irons, best feeling, but also best performing as well. You can see there 208 carry, 220 total, but it's still got that nice spin rate. It's still got 4,000 spin, and it's launching quite nice and high as well. I really want to hit a bad one, That isn't a bad one, that's a really nice one. Just to see what we lose, because these are obviously a forgiving iron. These are that kind of mid-handicap iron. Again, nice and consistent there. That's, you didn't see the first one, but that's 3 in a row with a front to back dispersion of 3 yards, which when you're covering 220 yards is a really nice dispersion to have. That is honestly remarkable. We've just been saying, haven't we, these sound like nothing that I've ever hit before, and Bobby spent a lot of time around golf clubs kind of pestering people and just annoying them. But you've not heard anything this good, have you? No, it sounds good. That was a little bit heavy. That's high spin. That's not going to, if that carries 200, I'll eat my hat. 199. The Sawgrass hat's, it's okay. It's in the mud on there from the other day. Ooh. I know. Ooh. I only bought one though. I only bought one. Still 210. See, that's bottomy, but it's still going, isn't it? Still going 195 up to 210, spinning at 3000, which not bad, and that's where this kind of through slot speed pocket can help with those low face strikes. That was a proper bottom groover. One ball, we'll get outside, we'll talk mid irons, and again, see what maybe. Okay, so we hit 3-4 irons there. And the second one I actually just kind of tweaked left a little bit, just hooked it a little bit. And you can see that it's actually past the pond, which I said to Bobby straight away, we might be one down there because that pond's quite a decent carry. Now these irons do feature a new ultra high strength face, and that means that they are 20% stronger than previous generations, unlocking more ball speed and power. Now what I'm really pleased with all those 3 shots is they all varied slightly. Deer! See deer, look. Did you get them? No, probably not, but 20% better. So yeah, they're all exactly the same distance, and I'm buzzing with that because with a 4 iron, that's exactly what you want. Now, what about the mid irons, Bob? Should we go 7? Yeah. We'll have to go back a little bit, but that's fine. So we're 168 yards out here, which is a good 7 iron for me usually. Now, when testing these golf clubs, I think they are quite powerful. You can see we still have through slot speed pockets down to the 7 iron. So pitching wedge 998 iron, don't have them. I had to check there because I wasn't sure if they'd maybe changed them. But that just offers you more ball speed on low face hits and allows the ball to get airborne, which again is fantastic. They haven't ruined them, which was the big problem, which when I heard there was a new P790 coming, I was like, why? But I think they're very, very good. They're actually a thinner top line, so they're designed to be a bit more sleek and elegant, which maybe says to me TaylorMade might be thinking about a P800 or something. Sometimes when I do this, I get it right as well, I don't know, but I think just another iron in the lineup they'd probably go for. So, I don't know, this might go long, or it might be the perfect shot. That sounds so good. Right hand side of the green, a little bit cutty. It's about the right distance, Rob, that isn't it? That's just about flag high. A really, really nice strike, wasn't it? And what I don't want from these, and with the Gen 1 P790's, even the kind of Gen 2's, you'd start to see that kind of 1 in 6, 1 in 7 would go 20 yards longer. And that's what TaylorMade have really tried to battle with these hollow bodied irons, with that kind of speed foam injection and all the rest. Let's try and keep this a little bit straighter. That was a club twirl, Rob, that. That's all over it. I just think when you want forgiving irons but you want them to look good, where else do you go? It comes down to that price, doesn't it? And that's the only thing that's been lingering. That's why I wanted to get the price out there straight away. It's a bit like, I don't know, I've never been in this position, but imagine going on a first date when you've got a kid and you're like, look, this is what I have to tell you. I don't know, is that right? Can I say that? We're into the wind a bit here as well, you know. Right, big shot. See, I think that's going to be good and like just the right distance. Interesting. Very interesting, Robert. Okay, numbers for the 8 iron in this new 2025 P790 set. Now, having tested these out in Portugal and hitting some really good shots with them, I think these are going to go quite a long way, but we'll find out. The good news is, I do feel like they maintain the spin levels, which is really important. Oh, I've hit that really nice. 7,000 spin. So I actually put a flag out here at 160, which is a very, very long, it's basically a 7-iron number, that, realistically. 7,000 spin on the nose. That's the impressive thing, and that's where TaylorMade have really learned from that first generation. The first generation of this. Would you like to see a video of me testing these against the first generation? Because I think a lot of people will think, oh, I can go and buy the older P790s, save myself like £1,000. It's not the same. Like, this is a different animal. It might just look a little bit nicer. That's towy, but it's still 7.2. And that's still going to carry over 150 for a bad strike. I do feel like there's certainly a market for people who might want a split set. Like this 8-iron for me looks a tiny bit big, like I'm talking minuscule, and I'm really trying to be constructively criticising here. I think that's the right term. But the good news is the 770's there, so you could kind of blend them in, and this is where I'd start to, like I want the through slot speed pocket down to 7-iron, then maybe go 770. But then why, when you can still hit shots like that? That's really like, you know when you're talking and you say mid-sentence and you just have to hit a good one. Go in! Oh! And you look, I know this is a simulator, but you look how quick that stopped as well. It stopped really, really nicely. 160 carry, 6.8 spin. Really, really impressive numbers. But what's this really short irons like? What's the wedge like? Let's get outside and find out. I'm on fire with this, aren't I?
Nice shot.
I mean, I hit them good in Portugal. Are they going in the bag or not?
I know.
Okay, so we are going to hit some knockdown shots with this pitching wedge out on the golf course, but let's see just how truly well it can perform in here in the studio. So I've actually set a green out there at 140 yards, which is far too far for a pitching wedge, but I do feel like these are capable of doing the impossible. What's this going to carry? 137. 137, still spinning at 8, so it's quite low spin, but it did kind of come off quite hot, didn't it? You can see where it's come off the face edge, a tiny, tiny bit high, although that might be a mark from off the range. But I am pleased that I've spent so much time with these, practicing and working with them, because sometimes, that's a good one. Sometimes when I test irons like this, I just hit a couple, get some numbers, gather the data, see that's a nice number. And I think, yeah, it's a good iron, it's okay. But having gone and played a few rounds with them, having put them in practice, like that last one is there. See that? And it's carried 129.8 yards. Like I really don't know what more anyone could want. And then your good one carries a little bit further. This might be like a 137 again. 136. The fact that I can call the number in the air with an iron this forgiving and with this much technology is frightening, because you can't do that. Usually you can do it with a forged one once you've hit it, because you know, but it's reacting really, really well. What's it like for a little knockdown shot? Let's go outside and find out. That could go in, that. Bob, watch this, just a bit fade in. Go on then, go on then. Oh, I love them. They're really expensive, but I love them. Let's go outside. 105 yards, Bobby. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to test the P-dub, the pitching wedge. How sleek does that look, by the way? And I'm going to read the next bit of technology, because I often get the really important stuff wrong. So the new generation of P790 is engineered to deliver optimal launch, increased forgiveness, and enhanced consistency. All three things which I think, yes, probably the first generation of P790s needed quite a bit. As they move forward, you'll see that the new internal weighting structure combines a proven technology such as the forged L-face speed pocket and up to 38 grams of tungsten. Now, I'm no scientist, as you can probably work out, but that's a lot of tungsten to go into such a small head, isn't it? So, the reason why we're 105 is because I know this could probably go like 135, maybe even 140 yards if you really go after it. That's not why you want to use a pitching wedge for me. I have to know I can play this kind of shot. So I don't want that flyer that's going, that leaf's been on my shoe for ages, that's going overly long. So I think that's going to be perfect, Rob, do you? I can't believe how well this is going, to be brutally honest with you. They do sound incredible. I think what TaylorMade have done, not ruining them, even that one that I've absolutely duffed, it still worked out quite well, is remarkable. The question is, where do they go from here? Because you can't keep making something better without potentially... Have I got any mud on my hat? Thank God. Because it's my only late Nona hat. But eventually they're going to start messing something up. But for now, I really don't think they have. Congratulations on a fantastic set of clubs. If only they were a bit cheaper. Goodbye.